Welcome to the Enthusiast. My name is Lincoln Salazar, and I'm sitting here with the 50 Cent. How you been, 50? I haven't talked to you in, a couple of years now?
Yeah,
I've talked to you recently, but
I'm
not
good.
ago.
Since we got a chance to work on my little golf swing, but I ain't get it all the way right yet. I'm still working on it.
Last time I was a golf swing. You know, I was real nervous before we went because I didn't know how well of a golfer you were, but
Yeah.
have you golfed since?
No, yeah, I've gone to the drive since I got some custom clubs, and I've learned how to do it. Because a lot of the guys, the successful guys are out, and because they're older, they are able to talk to the younger guys that are there and thriving.
Yeah.
And a lot of really big business deals are made out there because they just decide to finance the guy's idea.
Well, you kind of get 4 hours kind of to spend time with someone, get to know them a little bit,
Yeah.
which is a lot of fun.
And they whoop your ass because they know how to do it. Like
Some are real competitive.
Yeah, they older, but then they already done
They've been
mastered
doing it
the
for a long
technique,
time. Yeah.
and they're ready to go. You know, so
You've had a lot going on the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So you've got your new shows,
Yeah.
which is you have BMF, you have Morality. Say I've
BMF
asked 3
Immortal.
times.
BMF Immortal.
Immortal. I was saying mortals. BMF Immortals.
Yeah, like the power universe is what BMF Immortals is. Like the power, first the success of power was great, and it came like I hit the bullseye first, and then you saw Fox come with Empire and Snowfall pop up and other projects that came. They were great projects. I like them too, but the being in premium, it allowed me to be as graphic as the environment is at times.
Yeah.
Or to say it the way people would say it in the environment, and that struck a chord in the audience. You know, like for the first time, they were seeing themselves in the characters and the flaws and different things, and it made people really get into it. And from Power, the spinoffs were Raising Kanan, Ghost, and Force.
Okay.
And those projects that made me have number 1, 2, and 3 of the highest rated shows in African American and Latino households. And then
which is huge.
I came with BMF that made the 4th. So it's 1, 2, 3, and 4 highest rated shows in African American and Latino households. And
Congratulations. That's amazing.
Since the success of that, I've been able to talk to stars and get them to be excited about expanding the universe. But I'll do it different. The spinoffs, the way they've seen me do it through Power is a lot different from the new spinoffs that they'll see from BMF Immortal. And it's cool. Like sometimes we switch perspectives, so it's from a law enforcement perspective.
Oh, wow.
Instead of it being from the actual hustler side, of the aspirational side. It runs through so many people that connect with it. Even when we all have the streak of a rebel in us.
Mm-hmm.
It's
true.
So sometimes when we find ourselves rooting for the bad guy at points.
Do you think do you think when you guys are producing, when you guys are making these, that are you trying to get it to where let's say the bad guy looks as if he's the good guy, and the person that people can kind of relate to him? Is that something you're trying to accomplish, or does it happen naturally?
I think some people go bad. They make bad decisions. They're not necessarily bad people. The route is bad, and it comes from them not having resources. So if you can run a crew that's that successful selling drugs in this climate, you could run a Fortune 500 company. The maintenance that it takes on people, like you know how often someone gets in trouble and decides to tell on someone else to
rat.
Yeah, just to get themselves out of the situation they're in and back onto the streets. And for you to make it to that height, it would take really good people skills, really good.
That'd be kind of charismatic.
You gotta be a great judge of character. You know, like you see, the most expensive thing we spend is time.
That's the
right.
And biggest thing you could trade is time.
Yeah,
I mean, all you have is time, right?
This is why even the biggest punishment you can receive is time.
That's true.
They could take the time away from you. So when you think about it, when you really look at it and you see.
By the way, I believe that every person should serve a little bit of time. I know that sounds crazy, but my belief is that until you've been in that situation, you don't really understand what it is to lose everything.
Or the circumstances. Circumstances to people's stories. I think when you look at cinematography itself, it's art imitating life.
Yeah.
And when you see people make choices, that it could have been choices instead of power, but power means the same thing in every language. It's the same symbol on every television, no matter where you go in the world. You know what I mean? And like I had a fragrance that came out 4 years before the series came out, and it was power, because I felt like it defined who I was or what I was trying to do at that point. So when the series came around and it was time to name it, I came back with the same, because I already had the trademark for
power.
For power, yeah.
So what do you think your superpower is then?
Well, finding a place to be secure when you're not in such a secure environment.
Yeah.
Like, I'm always dealing with people that achieved a higher level of education than me.
Yeah.
You know, college graduates to be from Harvard and all kind of,
I feel you on that, absolutely.
All that. And when they're in that background, what I hold on to is I am valedictorian of the School of Hard Knocks, and I've graduated with honors. Yes. So, you know, I do that, and I'm able to have the ability to use what a lot of people don't have. People that are great at school, they can retain information long enough to pass midterms, but they don't necessarily internalize the information.
And it doesn't always translate to real life either.
Right.
And a lot of people, especially with higher education, that's what they've lived off to their whole life. But it's like having this great tool, but they don't use it. Right. Some do, some don't. Some do, but some don't. A lot of them, they just seek education the whole life, which is a great thing to learn. But however, if you're not going to utilize it, then it's kind of, you know.
Yeah, there's circumstances where people are really smart and they lack common sense because they don't use it.
Yeah,
it's just a book.
So do you? There's a saying. Money is the root of all evil. Do you believe that money is the root of all evil, or the lack of money is the root of all evil?
I think money is the root of all evil.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I think it's the lack of money.
But look, it'll make you do things, the lack of it, but what I've seen, it'll make there's one phrase that you can say, right? If you took a woman and you was walking through the mall and you snapped your fingers and her clothes disappeared, she probably need to talk to a shrink about the experience. Cause she'd be like, my clothes were gone. I was like, oh my God, you like, nah, it's cool, relax. She probably need to talk to a shrink anyway. But if she can say to herself, fuck this, I gotta get this money because I gotta take care of what I gotta take care of, I got bills to pay, shit like that, she can get butt ass naked and twerk till you won't believe it. This is what we see in the strip club.
Yeah, but that's because of the lack of money, though.
Right, it is for it.
She had the money, she
get it.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying to you. It'll make you compromise the moral compass, moral compass, and the things that you've been raised under, because they don't necessarily come from broken homes. Not all of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they'll make the choice because of how much money is involved in their lifestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's true.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you see really attractive people, men or women, right? If your appearance is your largest asset, you're gonna do some whole shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, with the shows, do you think that the characters that you guys have, do you believe that the society they were in while they were brought up kind of got them into where they went?
Well, the circumstances of it. I think it was really important to show, specifically the Flannerys with Big Meech and T, to show their origin story. Because you see how someone can make the choice. Like, you can see when there's not enough food, actually, tonight, then you can see how a person would be like, well, let's do this because it's here. And it's the fastest route to, the fastest and biggest solution to the problem. You know, like, when you look up and you see people that have what you would view as financial freedom from that perspective, and that's the route that they took, it feels like the way to go. Like, it doesn't have requirements. And then for a guy that, when they're starting this in the youth, they're starting this at an age that they're not even responsible for their own behaviors.
They're still
developing.
developing.
They're minors. Yeah.
The mind is still developing, so they're just soaking in. They think it's the way.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff that we see, like the criminal activity in gang culture, it'd be young guys that they haven't developed their consequential thinking yet.
Yeah.
I don't think they really know what they're doing. Like, there's a lot of wet pillows in prison.
Yeah.
Like, under the circumstances of being incarcerated while they're alone,
Yeah.
they're crying, but they're not doing it in front of anybody.
Do you believe that in gang culture, in some ways, though, that does transfer, if done positively, into, let's say, entrepreneurship or business? I mean, you've in the last couple years alone have launched Sire Spirits. Yeah. You're now you're the Houston. You've cut deals with the Houston Rock. A bunch of what sports teams were they? I can't look off the top of my head.
I did deals.
This is on a couple years. I mean, it takes people years to do that. And I know you were just starting the first time we talked with the Cognacs, but you know, what were some of the stadiums you guys are in now?
Sacramento Kings.
It's huge.
Sacramento. I did a deal with Indiana Pacers. I did a deal with Houston Rockets, the Astros. Shout out to the Astros. They won the World Series. Did a deal with them.
Did you have anything to do with that?
And the Texans, of course, I'm the good luck charm. I'm the good luck charm. They sign the deal, then poosh, then everything goes the right way.
100%.
Hey, who does that? Who does that?
So, do you back to that? Do you feel that, you know, gang culture can, if done positively, can convert to entrepreneurship or business?
Absolutely. I think, well,
of a mentality, no?
Anytime there's people gather,
yeah,
you know, regardless if you would call it gang culture or if you would call it a group of entrepreneurs or a group of people that are working in one direction, you know, it don't necessarily have
gang is a business in a way, in some ways. And
well, you will find
there's
some
a CEO,
really,
there's a guy that takes care of stuff. You have your CFO. I mean, it's still layered like that, right?
You'll find more ruthless people in business,
yeah,
than you'd find in the neighborhood.
Yeah,
you know, because what I think
true,
makes people ruthless is tunnel vision.
100%. They're
when
gonna win no matter what.
Extremely focused, and they're going in that direction. Even the district attorney that's putting them in jail.
100%. And it happens a lot, by the way.
And it doesn't care, just wants the highest profile convictions they can get to move themselves up.
Yep.
And no matter how many people that come through that they give, Lord knows how much time, they just want to move forward. They want to be successful.
Smoke the whole damn thing.
So I have a statement that I kind of live by when it comes to business, or something I've developed over the last 20 years. I've been an entrepreneur for almost over 20 years now, 30 years. Not 30 years, 20 years. I can't do the math. But anyway.
You work harder when you work for yourself.
Yeah, exactly. So I believe there's three things that it takes in order to make like someone well-balanced in business, okay? So there's three things. There's a hustler, an entrepreneur, and a businessman.
Right.
And a hustler, right? The thing about hustling, if you're one of too many of these things, so if you're a hustler, you're thinking short term. You're going out to get that money, you're making that quick buck, you don't care who you burn, it doesn't matter, short term, right?
Right.
Then you have the entrepreneur, who's more of like a visionary, right? So their purpose, they have the plan, they're like the artist, they see the vision, they see the downward vision.
Yeah.
And then you have a businessman, right? Which a lot of, let's say, corporate America, things like that. They're looking at the numbers, they don't care, we gotta make the numbers. If they don't always see the vision, and they don't always see the hustle. They just say, what's the numbers, that's all I care about. Now, if you're too many of any one of these three things, right? Too much of a hustler, you're short term. If you're an entrepreneur, you might get lost in the art of it, never make any money. And if you're a businessman, you might not see the vision or see the hustle.
Right.
Out of those three categories, which one do you believe you are today? Well, a hustler, an entrepreneur, or a businessman, or all three? And where do you think you are with any of those?
I've gone through.
Because you're doing all of it, by the way.
I've gone through the training camp. Like, you look, in the beginning, it's hustler because it's for survival. You know, in the short term, goal is a great enough accomplishment.
Yeah.
You know, so you're hustling, you're doing what you gotta do. And then as you get to a stage of you perceiving yourself as an entrepreneur, people say it and they're not necessarily entrepreneurs at that point. I think entrepreneurs have they've researched the direction they're going in. So they have information. They entrepreneurs gonna.
And that's a loose term today. That's especially with the younger generation.
Right,
but everyone's an entrepreneur.
Well, my interpretation of
Yeah.
it is someone who has information or acquired information about how it actually works. They may not necessarily have all the resources to execute it, but is working in that direction for it to be a success. You know, and that's in the courses. You know,
What do you mean?
You get that out the book. It's textbook business that goes on traditionally, or what you should expect in business, right? And that, like, it's easier to conduct that. Like, if a person is extremely successful, they'll have a team, right? So the lawyers there's other people there that would catch things that would be right. Nah, you got to change this, and this, you know. Because lawyers think a little different. They think about everything that can go wrong.
Everything go wrong rather than what can go right.
Yes. So you got to balance that. Like, you can't have, like, I have general counsel, but I didn't have that in the very beginning.
But you kind of got to direct them sometimes too, right?
Because
if not, they'll kill a company within seconds and a deal.
They'll kill an idea before it even take off because
they'll tell you every reason not to.
They're exploring everything that could go wrong when everything's going to go right. What's the matter with you? Like, and sometimes you got to. If you know instinctively that this is something that'll work, it's a no-brainer, then you can just go do it. I've done it against my lawyer's wishes at points.
And that's either the entrepreneur in you or the hustler in you.
Yeah, I'm like, you don't know everything.
Yeah.
You don't know. Like, I'm telling you some things I can tell you this is gonna work. And when it works, he goes, yeah, you're right. You made the right call. And then generally, if you benefit the most from it anyway. So, you know, he says, what, I can't be wrong? Like, you was right.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, okay, that's cool.
Out of those three, though, hustler, entrepreneur, businessman, which one do you think you are most of today?
Well, I'm still an entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur.
Yeah.
All right.
The hustler part.
Which is true. I mean, you got your producer, you've got your spirit brands, you've got brands in cognac, you've got your champagne, which is amazing, by the way. You just got World Series, right?
Look, every time you see me, it's something different, right?
Yeah.
But I'm always there. You know what I mean? Like, you got other guys that have been around for a long time, especially in a culture like with hip-hop music is connected to youth culture. They have very low attention span, right? So what's hot is hot. It's out with the old and with the new. The guys that stick around have a significance. They have been able to transition and maneuver themselves through everything that goes on, because let's say this, the new guy that's coming up that was extremely influenced by the material you created when you came in. He loves you, he still likes you as an artist, but he goes, yo, you heard his news? Yeah, it's hot, but it's not like when his first music came out, right? And this is because if you stay in that position you were in when you first came out, how does he have his shot?
That's true.
He can't have his chance at it. You know what I mean? So they do that instinctively. So the clouds that come over established artists are being created by the new talent. Even the ones that didn't make it yet.
Yeah.
They go, oh, no, that's cool, but it's not like they want the new one, the new thing that just happened. And then
you're always evolving.
When you have a moment that it feels like magic with music. Because it's something you preconditioned yourself for, right? Some of these guys are better than me at making music, right? They're better than me because they don't have to work as hard as me to get where I was when I made the best music that was happening at that point, right? And I was writing music since '97, full time, all the time, right? And I thought I was ready. Columbia Records, I had the album 1999. I didn't have any success till 2003 with Eminem and Shady Aftermath, right? And Dr. Dre. So you look and you say, when you thought you was ready took 4 long years after. Like I was already creating music that was up to standard and that people clearly appreciated, but it's not the hit music that people recognize. And it took for me to go through all of the things that I went through in between that time for me to be ready for 2003.
Did you kind of go through like almost like, was it like camp for you, especially with Dre and everything? Was it like a camp going through that process to like, okay, now here's where I need to be, here's where I'm going?
It's all a camp. Like if you, I'll say my time is not when it's going to happen. It's always God's time, right? And for anyone else, whatever your higher power is, I don't care, but it's your higher power's timing. You know, because you'll feel like you're ready because you're working at it. You know, some people they can rap the way we speak. Yeah, it comes out that easy, like and then because it's so easy, they don't know exactly what to rap about.
So they're just throwing out words.
Yeah, so they can't write a song to save their fucking life. You know what I mean? Because they don't know exactly which one to write or how what energy to try and capture in the material, and then. When you have moments and it's like, go shorty, it's your birthday. It's not rocket science, bro. Every day.
What were you sitting when you came with that?
Huh?
Well, how did that come up? What were you sitting when that came up?
It's just me.
Or you like at a party, you're like,
I'm listening
like
to
a
the
girl's
music.
party, like go shorty, it's your birthday. You're like, oh shit, this could be a song.
Now you know.
Or were you like actually like writing it?
You know, every day it's someone's birthday. When you're in the nightclub environment.
This time it was Shorty's birthday.
Right. In the nightclub environment, this is a reason for you to enjoy yourself on the highest level. It's my birthday, I'm gonna go out and have a good time, your friends are around, you go out, so that just popped into my head while I was hearing the music, and I just said it. See, it's not until simplicity is the key to a lot of the hits, a lot of the great things.
It's true.
And it's when you stop trying to be a scientist with how crazy you articulated it, the metaphors and
overthinking and everything,
yeah, and you just
put it out there,
and it works. And then when you're kind of cheating when you got like Dr. Dre and shit, like when you got producers that prolific around you, like people that is where the work is positioning yourself to be next to things that are so great that you can achieve greatness. Like look at producing records when Quincy Jones is the man, like is the baddest man in music. Yeah. It's saying, get me that guy from over there to play the bass because that boy is bad, and bring him in here with the keyboardist that we've met over there in Louisiana because I ain't never seen nobody play the keys like that boy. And then when he's in the room together with that bass and that keyboardist and the drummer, they can make something that you like, whoa, those are the hits from Motown. Yeah. But it was live musicians doing it at that point. And stages later, I watched it being done without understanding what it was when I was seeing it. Mm-hmm. But I watched Jimmy Iovine go, who produced that record? Like a new record comes out, it's Chief Keef. It's a fuck nigga, that's the shit I don't like. And I'm like, and he was saying stuff on the record that was so Chicago, it was so who he is at the moment, like fake True Religion jeans and shit he don't like. Yeah. How did you notice they were fake? I don't notice when people have fake stuff. I'm not watching the fake stuff enough to notice. I think it's the thing. I wouldn't know. It, right? But he's saying, when he says that, like Jimmy would say, who produced that record? Get me that guy, bring him here, put him in a room with Dr. Dre. And when you put him in a room with Dr. Dre, like Chop will make his first trip to LA and he's in the room and I'm producing records with Dr. Dre. And they'd be doing it from machines that like distorted versions of the beats and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And Dre can even hear where to use plugins to make the real drum sound that distorted, to use it to do it so it has that vibe and that energy, and can, because he's just been in there for so long that it's like it's. Do you think it was his natural talent, or do you think it was work? I think that's a gift. You think it's a gift? I think Dre has something that God just gave him. People are sometimes just born with that. Nah, he's the guy. And then there's other guys. There's other guys out there. You know, Timbaland is special. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? He grumpy though. He's a grumpy old man. Like he might not be the guy you want to hang out with, but he's the guy you want to get music from. Trust me, you want to listen to him, and you want to learn from him.
Since 1995, family-owned JM Tobacco has brought you a variety of quality cigars for an affordable price. No matter your taste and style, JM Tobacco has a cigar suited for you. Enjoy our value-priced JM's Dominicans. These handmade cigars are available in 4 unique blends. Try our premium Española cigars offered in Connecticut and Maduro wrappers. These long filler handmade cigars have a smooth and thick smoke we're sure you'll love. Visit our website at jmtobacco.com and use promo code JM25 to receive 25% off your entire order.
What are you enjoying the most right now? Because you're producing on television, and then you're doing documentaries, or you did, and then you had your podcast with El Chapo, which, by the way, his son just got in a war yesterday, or a fight or something yesterday.
Yeah, wow.
And then you have your producing, you have your music, and then you have your businesses.
Right.
Which one are you enjoying the most? Because you're doing all 3 of them. Which one's still your passion? Like if you were to say, if someone was to say to you today, Fiddy, you only get to pick one of the 3, which is the one you're going to choose to do?
I would choose television.
Really? So you love producing?
I had to pick one of the 3.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed touring recently.
Mm-hmm.
And it was because I was able to go outside of the country.
It was a world tour.
Yeah, the tour started with 4 shows. And Live Nation didn't believe in the run because they felt like something might go wrong from COVID, because it's early, internationally. So I financed it. So I went straight to venue with it, and I didn't take I didn't have any support acts.
You bet on yourself.
I traveled 36 countries. And
wow.
We sold out the whole thing. Like that's
unbelievable.
Yeah, and it was because they weren't moving like they would regularly move.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of competitive things happening at the same time, and people were ready to
get out,
come back and hear that. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Cool.
So when you're producing now, are you the one are you pitching the shows yourself? Do you have a team? Are you putting together a deck?
I'm in development, the whole thing. Like, look, when you immerse yourself on one side of entertainment, the other side is exciting.
Yeah.
Because my only entertainment has been film and television because in music. Mm-hmm. So music, I hear the artist, I'm like, oh, okay, I hear the creative choice they made and what they did. And I said, oh, but he could have did it like this. There's a version of it that I could have made, right? There's another version of that song, of every song. And some musical elements, you'll go, nah, that was dope, like that was crazy. I didn't hear that. That doesn't happen a lot.
Yeah.
And it excites you when you hear things that aren't in other records because it makes producers think outside the box. It makes artists pick different things, you know what I mean?
And you on your tour, you're doing most of your classic music, correct?
Yeah, I did a lot of material. I performed all of the new stuff.
A lot of time people, when they go on tour, they'll drop a new record before.
Wow.
But what I found a lot of times, especially people that are huge fans, they want to go hear the classics.
Yeah, like Prince. I would have rather heard Purple Rain than a lot of the shit he was performing. Bro.
Yeah. Right?
Now look, this is real shit. You know this. When you got that album that you go, this shit, the whole shit, I want to listen to the whole shit. Like that one, they're going, that's a special period. This is when you like, you can't be that forever. Nobody can. You know what I'm saying? And where my core audience is, the people who were influenced the most by that time period, when the music came out, are now older. They've grown with me.
30s, 40s.
Right. So now they're at home watching television. They'd have the drink that they would have in the nightclub at home. Yeah. But our fucking wine cellar is successful. Yeah, bar at home. They have the drink at home instead of having it in the club and in the social environment. But when you're 21 and you're in college and you're having your adult experience for the first time, the music at that point, the things that are dominating are the theme music to your life.
Yeah.
It was that night you saw her.
The experience.
She was the hottest thing you saw in your life. She wanted to suck your dick, like your dick, specifically.
And you knew that.
Right? And you knew it. And you felt it to the point that you was going to talk to her like you were sure. And then when it happened, you was like, oh my God, what the fuck just happened?
Heard that music.
Oh my goodness. I'm the best. This is the best night of my life. And for that man, it never changes. Like, he looks and goes, but when that happens, I wasn't involved. I was playing in the background. I wasn't involved in the transaction. But he never forgets that shit for the rest of his life, bro. And this is where you make a connection where those people will go, no, I'm not gonna lie. That time period, like that window where he was the thing that no one could deny at that point. There's, that window for them where they were transitioning from a boy to a man or from a girl to a woman, and that is monumental in their life. So I'm not finding a new audience, I'm finding my core audience.
Yeah.
When I'm on television, and I know some of the things that were impressionable on me on my run, and some of the things that they were exposed to that I can offer through film and television.
Absolutely.
You know?
Well, you know, the reason we invited you for the Enthusiast, but is because you're definitely an enthusiast. You're an enthusiast of music, business. You're an enthusiast of finer things in life, too. You're an enthusiast of life, by the way.
Yeah.
That's what the Enthusiast is, right? So what's next as we wrap up?
There's so much more. There's no limitations to how far you can take it. You know, I'm enjoying it. Like, you look, when you say, I think there's some people who know how to live better than others, right? We just said the most expensive thing you spend is time.
Yeah.
And just, they're free. They're free-spirited. They just live. You know what I'm saying? And they get a chance to really embrace things, to enjoy where they're at. You travel the world, you see different things, expose yourself to different environments. And if you're doing it with the right people, at the right times, I don't know how you can look at things and regret them at any point.
Yeah.
You know, like, because we only do this, we don't get do-overs.
There's no redos.
Yeah,
you live in the live act. You're on stage.
Like, yo, let me get a redo. Let me get a redo.
There's no redos. You only get one life of the redo.
I go back to 18 and start over. With this information, I fuck them up bad, bro. Give me a Back to the Future right quick.
100%. What do you think changed your mentality on life for that? Have you always had that? Have you always thought that way, or did there some pivotal point in your career or your life that you've had this? Because I think the same way, by the way. That's how I've been. I've never worked for anyone since I was 17 years old. So
Yeah,
I understand the hustle. I understand entrepreneurship, all that. Was there a pivotal point you're like, there's no redos? Because not a lot of people get that. They take life for granted. They wake up every day, they'll, especially younger generation, they'll sleep until 2 or they'll do whatever, and you're like, half the day is gone. And I have brothers and sisters, it's like, get up.
Look,
I wake up stoked every day, don't you?
I found myself in crowds by myself.
Yeah.
Like, they're not necessarily thinking the same thing I'm thinking when we're doing what we're doing as a group. And I think when you don't necessarily train yourself, like, how people say, oh, I'm an independent thinker, I'm this, like this. When it's already in you to just have your opinion on which direction you should go, I think, I'm not sure if you can train someone into
that mentality.
Right.
I agree with you, by the way. I think a lot of times it's inherently in you.
Yeah, I think it's in a natural character because there's a point where you've achieved so much that why exactly are you getting up this early? Like, why are you getting up this morning? Like, it doesn't. You already have financial. How much money in the bank? So you're going.
You're not that motivated.
Right. Why are you getting up today? Like, you should just chill.
Yeah. Some
people would choose to chill and then you go and you work because I'll find my interest and my enjoyment in the process.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's really what a lot of entrepreneurs, they'll achieve something and it'll only be until their new idea comes that they're after something completely different.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And some guys, they make it to the top of the board and then don't know what the fuck to do. They just want to go.
They get content.
Yeah, they start saying, okay, let's go to the moon. I want to go to the moon first. What the fuck? I try not to do shit that
not in your wheelhouse.
I mean, look, when if fatality is connected to something that is so beyond the normal behaviors and stuff like that, I look and I go, oh, no, maybe I shouldn't. I don't need that. Because I see things, people kind of can create their own path.
Yeah.
Ways, and then do unnecessary things all the time and get comfortable with having the freedom to do it because the finances are there. You can create habits that are, like I used to really like to ride motorcycles.
Yeah.
And I stopped because I couldn't afford to fall off and slide down the street. And
no, you probably can't even get insured.
You know what I'm saying? Like it was like when I came back, I was like, nah, I'm cool. But before that, it was like I kind of got that daredevil energy in me because of it's just in me. Like I would ride and then you see somebody else do something and you go, oh, I want to try and do that too. So like now you see the guy out here, Willie, he has his like foot on the back seat and then he'll take his foot off and get off the bike and he's like flying, the bike's over here and he's still holding the shit and get back on it. Yeah. And you go, what the fuck? I didn't even know it was possible for you to do that shit, but I'm glad I'm not doing it anymore because they're gonna push the envelope until it's like, look, when he falls, it's not worth it. It has to just be, because that was all that mattered.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because if that, anything else that you go, what else excites you? What else makes you feel good? Because those things like public perception of you, like when you see when people, there's points where they promote things that's not necessarily real, right? But in it being public perception or the public's aware of it in that way, it adds to your aura, right?
Absolutely.
So it's like when they financially say, oh, you're a billionaire, this person's a billionaire. Like, I've been a billionaire since 2007. Yeah, I'm not far from where I came from.
Yeah. That
I've been a billionaire.
That's crazy.
Financially, because
that's huge.
Everybody around me is being paid.
Mm-hmm.
The resources that I've compensated for them to be there, and I really don't see things that I want that I can't go get it. Except that building right there. That building right there, I can't just go get it. That one.
Not yet.
Maybe if billionaires just buy buildings because
you still got plenty of time.
Right? Like that's the shit. And you go, but everything else, you can get it, you can have it. I can have it if I want it at that point. So I don't want that building. Like, I don't have that urge to have that building. Like, it's just who I am. But this is why I'm saying I've felt like that the whole time. So when people tell me, you got givers and takers, right?
Yeah.
So when you interact with people, they'll come and you'll feel them looking at you like I'm excited because he's such and such. If they introduced you and they told you he's from the Enthusiast report and he's financially, he's this guy. And they go, well, I want to meet him because, like, so I can talk to him and maybe this will happen for me or maybe he'll finance my idea.
Yeah.
Right? And those people are takers because you see them wanting something.
They just want something from you.
And then you have the guy that is, I hear you talking about an idea and says, yes, that's a good idea. Let's do it. I'll finance it if you want to do it.
Yeah, I agree with you.
It's a giver because financing it means nothing to him. Like it's multiple other things going on. He just hears a great idea. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times when we talked about the golf course earlier, a lot of times that's what's happening on the golf course. It's a point where the skill is acquired over time by the person that actually plays. Yeah, the skill is going to matter. Yeah. Not how many weights you picked up or anything else. And they're going to kick your ass out there because they've been out there
for years doing it
and working on it.
Yeah. Like any other craft. Yeah, it's the more you give, I believe, the more you get.
Yeah.
It really is. And a lot of people do not understand it. That's why takers are always like, why am I broke? It's because all you do is take.
I think it's an unwritten law to not need anything.
100%.
Right? To appear to not need anything. That would be one of the laws of powers that they didn't put in the book. As far as Robert Greene is concerned. We did the 50th law together, and I think he's amazing, like an amazing writer. And the significance in him is how he can run parallels through things that are going on today with historical figures. Right? He's an amazing history buff. Right?
It is.
And the 50th law is me being you're fearless, like, because I'm already been under the worst circumstances. All these new situations are so much minor to me, right? When I get into, when I say that appearing not to need anything is probably the only law unwritten.
Yeah.
This would allow Bernie Madoff to have a $50 billion Ponzi scheme.
I don't need you, I value you.
My portfolio's
I
full.
don't need you, I value you. Yeah.
So you can leave after he told you his portfolio's full and talk to your friend, your other wealthy friends, say, yeah, I got a few dollars put over there with him. And he says, damn, he just turned me down. Okay, I know I asked to give you 5, but let me give you 10 billion.
Yeah.
They ended up giving him more.
It's called the takeaway. Takeaway pitch.
To get in, they can come in at a bigger.
Absolutely. Well, 50, I humbly thank you for coming out. I appreciate your time very much.
Yeah.
I very much appreciate being able to sit down with you again. Your cognacs are doing amazing. Your shows are doing kicking ass. So you just had your premiere last night. Congratulations, by the way.
I'm excited.
On BMF. So we're very excited. Thank you so much for your time, and I appreciate it very much, and your team as well. Humbly, thank you.
Cool.
Cheers, appreciate it.